Hey, I'm Ivy Larson with Cuisine.com, and I am standing here with my fourth book, which is titled, after the website, Clean Cuisine, and the subtitle is an 8-week anti-inflammatory nutrition program that will change the way you age, look, and feel. And I wrote the book with my husband, Dr. Andy Larson, who is the medical expert behind this book, the Clean Cuisine website, and all of the books that we've written. He's a surgeon, but he really specializes in bariatric or weight loss surgery. And so because of this, we get a lot of emails from his patients, especially the emails that we seem to get with most frequency lately are asking us about what we think about the juicing craze. And I know that's super hot right now. There was actually I think it was syndicated from the New York Times, just in today's paper, an article, talking about the juicing craze. And so the patients and our readers are a little bit confused when we say we're not supportive of the juicing craze, especially considering that the foundation of our book, I'm not sure on what page, but we have a Clean Cuisine anti-inflammatory diet pyramid, and the base of the pyramid, the foundation of the pyramid, are fruits and vegetables. And so these juices, especially the cold pressed juices, which are the ones we're talking about, by the way. We're not talking about the juice box juices, the ones that you get pasteurized that are sitting on the grocery store shelves. We're talking about the fresh, cold pressed juices. But when we say that, we want people to increase their consumption of fruits and vegetables, and then we tell them not to drink juice, it's kind of like, it's causing a little bit of confusion. So just wanted to do a quick video to kind of set the record straight, talk about the juice that we recommend you having, which you can make yourself, and then there are a few exceptional cases where if you have certain medical conditions or you're an athlete, you really might want to consider the juicing, but we'll get into that later. But first of all, just to talk about, the juicing industry has become a multi-million-dollar industry, and whenever there's lots of money involved, you're going to kind of see some murky things going on. And that's definitely what's happening right now with the juicing industry. Now, if you're getting 100% cold-pressed, fresh juice that you see the person making and you're drinking it right there, that's one thing. I still don't drink that juice. I still don't, my husband doesn't recommend it to his patients. But that's one level of juice. The juice that you're seeing, like Starbucks has their own brand now, that stuff has been sometimes sitting there for like a week, 2 weeks. I think it was in the paper, the New York Times syndicated article, it said that like 24 days can go by and they can still call it, fresh, cold pressed juice. That kind of juice is, I would not call that a superior quality product. So, now, the reason, though, that we don't support juicing primarily has to do with the fiber, because the cold-pressed juices, they extract all the juice and all the nutrients, supposedly, but they leave out the fiber, and then what you're left behind with is, pure juice, which is a lot of sugar, and then they throw out the pulp, which is all the fiber. Now, that's kind of a big problem, and it really goes against the anti-inflammatory program that we talk about. Fiber is an anti-inflammatory substance. My husband and I really have been researching anti-inflammatory nutrition for like almost 15 years now. Ever since I was diagnosed with MS, this was back in 1998 when I was 22 years old, and I'm 37 now, but my husband was in medical school at the University of Pennsylvania at the time I was diagnosed, and he admittedly was kind of skeptical about anti-inflammatory nutrition approach for the management of a disease like MS. But the more research we started doing, it was like, not just a condition like MS, but asthma and allergies and arthritis and fibromyalgia and heart disease. And now, as we're seeing even with his bariatric, the obese patient population, they benefit from an anti-inflammatory nutrition program. My husband, he's not, he doesn't have MS or an inflammatory condition, but he's on the anti-inflammatory nutrition program, which helped him lose like 15 pounds and keep it off over 15 years, or almost 15 years ago. My son, who's 12, he's been on the anti-inflammatory nutrition program. It's just a healthy program for everybody to follow. But one of the key components of an anti-inflammatory nutrition program is whole foods nutrition and making sure that you're getting fiber-rich fruits and vegetables. That doesn't mean taking away the fiber and just drinking the juice. It really means eating the whole fruit and the whole vegetable. And from a weight loss standpoint, fiber is what works mechanically to keep you full and satisfied. So it's sometimes, I always say, like, try eating 3 whole bananas, because everybody talks about how they're so afraid of bananas. Bananas have so much sugar. But nature has built in a mechanism where bananas come packaged with fiber, and so it's almost impossible to overeat bananas. So try eating like 3 bananas in one sitting, and your stomach is going to be really full, and you're not going to be able to, I'm guessing you're probably not going to be able to consume comfortably that many bananas. But there's probably about, I'm just guessing, 80 grams of sugar maybe in 3 whole bananas. If you tried to drink 80 grams of sugar in a juice, it'd go down like that, like super quick. So when you extract the fiber and you're just drinking the juice, your body doesn't have a built-in, or nature doesn't have a built-in mechanism, and you're able to absorb all that sugar way too quickly, which is not good for your blood sugar levels. It's definitely not desirable for diabetics. It's not good for if you're trying to control your weight, if you're obese. And it's even not good for heart disease. Fiber actually is very important for heart disease. Fiber helps lower your cholesterol. There are so many benefits. I could go on and on about fiber, but definitely getting rid of the fiber with these juices is not the way to go. The other thing is, a lot of times you hear about juicing being used for detoxification. And the thing is fiber is one of the most important substances for detoxification. Fiber is what helps remove toxins from your body. And once you remove toxins from your body, you're able to absorb the nutrients a lot better. So if you are juicing and you're extracting, getting rid of all that fiber, you're not really getting the detoxifying benefits that you think you're getting. And I do understand, the theory behind juicing is that you are removing the fiber, which is the substance that is difficult for your body to absorb, but that's actually a good thing. You're removing the fiber, and then you're making it easier for your body to absorb all the nutrients in the juice, which in theory sounds great, but there is absolutely no scientific basis for this. So this kind of boils down to 2 things. What kind of juice do I recommend that you drink? And then who does juicing actually benefit? Now, if you're familiar with Clean Cuisine, you're familiar with my story, not just the MS, but the whole leg operation surgery that I had last year, I did use juicing for that during that short time period when I was recovering from my surgery. Now, if you are recovering from a massive surgery, I had a 7-hour surgery. I couldn't walk for 7 months. My leg was broken. If you're recovering from that kind of surgery, your body is in metabolic overload. You're also at the same time not very hungry. So in that case, when your body has a hard time, taking in, like for me, even eating a banana during that time was really hard. Plus, to be honest, I was laid up in the hospital for a week. I was feeling depressed. Food wasn't really exciting me. The juices, really fresh, cold-pressed juices. I was up in New York City at the hospital for special surgery, and I had cold, fresh juices delivered to my room. They made me feel better. I got nutrition in. I still ended up losing weight from the surgery, but I felt like the juicing at that time period was really helpful for me. If you are an athlete, now my 12-year-old son, he's an athlete. He does, these 5K runs. He's extremely lean. He needs to eat a lot of calories because, we feed him this anti-inflammatory diet, and I need to make sure that he gets enough calories and enough food. And so after his runs, a lot of times we have a cold, fresh pressed juice, this place called Christopher's, which is a raw food kitchen. It's amazing. And they have a fresh juice. They have a juice bar, and we can get fresh juices from there. I give them those. I think juicing is amazing if you are an athlete, if you're exerting a lot of energy and you don't want to be bulked up with, a lot of fiber-rich fruits and vegetables, have yourself a glass of juice. But for everybody else, and that actually includes me because I'm not an endurance athlete, I don't need to, go seeking massive amounts of extra calories. So what I do for juicing and what my husband tells his patients to do, and I'm just doing this with an orange, but you can do this with watermelon, you can do it with pineapple, not so good with like apples and that type of fruit, but if you do, like an orange is a perfect thing. So I have a whole orange here. I'm putting it in my Vitamix, and you can cut up another orange. Usually if I'm doing this juice, it's about, it depends on the size of the orange, but it's usually like 1 whole orange or maybe 1.5 oranges. But for right now, I'm going to do 1.5 oranges. And also I should tell you, if you've juiced in the past, this is a lot cleaner of a method for juicing. Okay, so put the Vitamix lid on. Okay, that's almost all there is to it. Now usually I like to make it really cold. So I'm going to add some ice cubes, which I have here. And if you want to make it extra sweet, which, you know, this just depends. You're going to want to taste your oranges because each orange is slightly different in how sweet they are. You could just add 1 or 2 dates. I don't always do this. It just depends, but for right now. But you need a Vitamix. You don't need a high-speed blender if you're not adding the dates. You can just do this in a regular blender. But if you're adding the dates, you need a high-speed blender like a Vitamix. Okay. Okay, and that's it. That is how we juice in our house, because I don't own a juicer. And, you know, I have a great, delicious glass of OJ. If you want more recipes, if you want more ideas on what other juices that you can make, and also smoothies, because we're super into whole food, fruit, and green smoothies, and you can visit cleancuisine.com.